See, he a baby daddy, YN nigga. But his women are okay. So what the fuck is the problem, JP? You know what I'm saying?
Just weird the way he talks about the black community. Yeah, and then he brings Bree Brave on.
And it's a little bit more expensive up there.
Don't work. I'm on this
shit. I want you to hear this, JP.
Told me I should have parted ways. Human beings.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right.
And quite frankly, shame on me. I had people. Honestly, John, I had friends of mine. I had friends of mine telling me I should have parted ways. These motherfucker's never been married in his life. His lovely lady Lisa, he hasn't. Motherfucker, he's had a baby with her. She calls him because she probably needs his money.
I don't, like I did enjoy sometimes the man on the streets, but out there,
who is going to do manual labor, apparently.
I want you to listen to this right here. JP, this is it right here. This is what you're doing, and this is what a nigger hates on me for doing because, he can't see things. And what you're doing is walking into a trap, bro. You're going to get an undesirable outcome. Listen.
Good. He's raising a girl who is going to do manual labor, apparently. He is the best fake.
Like he had the kids out there with a fucking ankle monitor on, threw the thing off, and he's just yelling about it. And it's just like, man, that's a bad look. These bunch of kids, man, like they were like 13, 15, 14, some shit like that.
He lost me, honestly, when he was complimenting his little girl on being able to clean a bathroom good.
It was my bathroom, though, JP. And, I was teaching her skills that they take her, who knows what. She may own a cleaning business. That'll be,
John Cole.
That'll be far away from cleaning bathrooms. And you teaching your daughter how to run food trucks and shit like that, you open up, avenues in her mind where she may ascend to avenues that you don't want her to go. Honestly, that's my thoughts.
I got it, John. I'm going to get going here, John. I want to say something to you, JP. JP, you listening to me?
Yeah.
JP, JP. Remember this old white dude said this 10 or 15 years from now. I want you to think back because I'm going to haunt you. Remember this old white dude said this. Right now, you're being a good dad. You're being dad. All right. Your daughters are going to grow up to be fine, outstanding citizens. And I want you to remember that I warned you. You're being a good dad. Your daughters are going to grow up fine. And I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen because I can see how you treat your daughters. That's going to gel into them fitting into society. I'm sorry, sir, but remember this old man told you, you're going to have to adjust to your daughters just being fine, upstanding daughters and bringing home black butlers that want to work and do things properly.
Yeah, well, it could be possible, JP. You know what I'm saying? They may bring an upper level from you, a nigga like me, a hustling ass nigga. That may be much more preferable than say a butler.
Right.
But they're not gonna settle for some lowly ass nigga with the skills you teach them. Bro. Be honest with you. You spend a higher floor for them. Just be honest.
John Gold, if allow me interrupting, I want to say something. My father and my mother, they made me do the lawn, do a lot of hectic work as a little boy around the house. So what's wrong with kids doing work for their parents around the house? Or even in the business, cleaning toilet or whatever. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, honestly, that's part of the reason why people used to have a lot of children. JP has children, so it will only make sense that they would help him with the business, right?
John, my grandmother, my maternal grandmother on my mom's side, she had 16 kids. 3 passed away, so she ended up with 14. the 14, including my mother, till this day, Mr. Galt, we are a tight-knit army. Like we are one. We are literally one. Like we help each other through thin and problems. Any problem.
And
we help each other.
And there is again another thing, JP. Honestly, bro,
Yeah.
I heard you say something, and sometimes you say some shit and you take it for benefit of the doubt. Mm-hmm. You say your children, you got custody of all of them, right? By the same mother, is that what you said?
Different mothers.
But you got custody of all of them. So you're avoiding a lot of bullshit with different daddies. You're all raising them up to more or less believe and see the same shit. That is, again, going running counter to what you kind of want. You understand? Like, they're getting the same message, right? Like, they may end up having some cohesion there. Within the black community, nigga, there ain't that much cohesion. Niggas fighting each other. Shit like that.
Galt. That's what I'm saying.
Again, you want the desired result? Send them off to each one of the mothers. You gonna get that shit you want. Send them off to the mothers. Step away. And you will get the result that you want, I promise you.
Well, they mamas into white men. So that's one of the reasons why I stepped up.
Wait. I need to ask JP this question. So you stepped up. In what way, sir? How do you step up? Exactly.
Well, I didn't want my kids to be raised with their mama, watching them having white men.
Wait a minute. Let me ask you a question. How it had to be very difficult for you to get custody, unless they just gave them to you, correct?
No, I did a lot of my tactics. I would have my daughters and them cause a lot of problems.
But you had to put effort in. You just want no one time going to court getting custody, I would imagine, right?
No.
How many times do you think you went to court?
No, my daughter, they mama, some of my baby mamas gave them to me eventually after so much hell that they went through.
You mean in court? You mean in court or what?
No, it wasn't in court.
But you had to go to court at some point, right?
When they finally said you could have your kids, then we went in and got it signed over.
Right. So up until then, you raising hell in pursuit of your children.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You do understand that a lot of men would just say, "Man, fuck this shit, nigga." Right. Wait, you understand? Like you putting a lot of effort into it. Like those children saw these things. They're also going to children who don't have. Going to school with children who don't have fathers, and they're coming back, and then wait a minute, and why my daddy got custody of me, and these other niggas, these other children are going to school, coming to school with different daddies, mama's picking them up, daddy's picking them up. Like you're working against your own best interest, honestly. If you really want nigger ass children, you'd be better off to, do the nigger shit, and the nigger shit is not be so involved in their lives. To be honest with you. Yeah, you want what you give. If you really want what you want, but I don't think you can do that with girls.
Galt is asking the proper questions, JP.
I don't think you can do that with girls. And and I said to you, bro, what I said to people before you came up here. This is really kind of a danger to you, bro. Coming up here talking to me, because you're doing really what niggers really should be doing. And like, you open them up to like, damn, I wish I could spend more time with my children. I wish I could have more children. And, this is very interesting, the way you explain it, because you're very intelligent and you can articulate it in ways that maybe these niggas are not very intelligent to catch on with what you're saying and what they're saying from you. You understand?
Like JP, real talk. I think everyone here, people in the chat, people in the panel, we want the best for you and your kids. I want your kids to be healthy and prosperous. And by the way, your food truck business, I hope you have a good health and safety standard, JP. Just saying, for your own.
Hey, JP, I was watching you up on the Bob and Arts channel the other day, and again, game recognized game. And it was Skywalker. He said something to you. He said, Man, JP, when you hit 1 million subscribers, man, don't leave us behind. That's what he said. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Right? Now, that's game recognizing game. He didn't say when I get 1 million subscribers, I ain't gonna leave you behind. He said when you get 1 million, my nigga, right?
I thought he said that.
Huh? Say what?
I thought he was just playing bull crapping.
Well, shit. Well, if you bull crapping, you know, the way he could have.
I don't think that I'm really that entertaining.
Bro. Like that night you were up there, I think someone paid $400 for you to basically take over the show. And I called, bro, like, bro, I said, man, I was saying to some motherfucking nigga, I said, most of you fucking niggas, with all the education you don't learn, nobody wants to hear anything you got to say worth $400 fucking dollars. You understand?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You understand, nigga? You understand what I'm saying? Most of these niggas, hey, listen, I heard that fucking nigga 90 somewhere. He responded to a comment on that. And he said, 90, why you just respond to other people's shit? He said, man, I ain't got nothing else to talk about. What? And then shortly thereafter, you came and shut his stupid ass down. You remember that?
There you go, John.
The nigga ain't got no dope. He ain't got no dope. So he trying to sell other people dope, repackage that shit and sell it as his. You know the game.
Right?
John Gold. John Gold, real quick, John Gold. Like I think, listen, I respect JP. I think JP and I, like, we come from a different status, but I still respect JP because he doesn't care about anyone. He cares about himself and his family, and I respect it. But to see these other guys clowning him and then at the same time using him for content, that's shameless.
That is shameless.
That's shameless behavior.
Bro, I saw that fuck nigga. I'm sorry. Let me back down. Scratch that from the record. I did. Scratch it. Back up.
Go ahead, John. No, speak your mind. Speak your mind.
I can't do it. I got JP up here and I ain't trying to stir no boats.
No. But JP.
I just getting in my zone right here. Like, bro, you're not gonna make content ridiculing me. Nigga, I ain't gotta do that. Nigga, I got my own dope. Not gonna come up this motherfucker calling me all kind of names, and I'm like, nigga, we get content. We got views, nigga. Off me being ridiculed, nigga. Don't worry like that. I'm a nigga. Fuck that shit, nigga. You don't worry like that. And so when I saw a nigga say like, while he being ridiculed, he could have easily hit a button and put the nigga down. He didn't do it. He just being ridiculed for views. It said something to me, my nigga. I'm a different nigga. That shit ain't happening up here. Right? I don't need JP for views. I'd rather do without views than just do that shit. You understand? JP, I sent you another PayPal. You know, so I think that, again, you know, this is why JP going to the club, bag all kind of bitches, and other niggas sitting around looking at JP and understanding why, or can't figure out why he can't get bitches, because they will let shit, a weak ass nigga will let shit like that happen to him, and then that shit translates down into the club. When they go to the club after being ridiculed by that same nigga, they can't understand why he getting all the bitches. You understand?
Yeah, I appreciate that. Another 50 PayPal, Mr. John Galt.
You understand what I'm saying? So that it is, you know, and so when I saw that, I couldn't unsee it.
I'm sorry, John.
And then the next day, Vanta came up, and then I think the next day, Atticus came up, and they pulled the same old fucking trick on this nigga.
Yep.
And he did not have the backbone to stop them niggas. These are weak niggas.
John, I think he got angry because I was defending JP. He even got more angry because after JP just chin checked you.
Right.
Chin check.
And then the audience is sending money to JP and sending money to Vanta to defend JP. And I said, oh my God, like this nigga here is a powerhouse, and he's exposing how weak these other niggas are. Not just on the panel. I'm not just talking about explicitly on the YouTube panel, but just in real life. I think YouTube is a metaphor for or a microcosm of what you see in real life. And a nigga like JP goes in real life and getting all the bitches in the club. And the niggas are looking at this shit, ridiculing him for being on food stamps and not asking themselves a real question. How the fuck is this happening? What is he doing?
Exactly.
This is why I say these fucking niggas are stupid.
Facts.
Yeah, been on ridiculing this nigga as opposed to seeing what the fuck he's doing. That's what I'm saying.
JP, you generally have a superpower. You are a superpower level 4 bioweapon. You trigger these guys who are working 9 to 5. You trigger them for some reason. I don't know why.
Man, you know what it is? Because I be reading the chats, man. Like, even the niggas that criticize him, be saying this nigga ain't dumb. That's what hurt. He's smart enough to play the system. And a lot of these niggas are so fucking dumb, stuck in a paradigm, of banging their head against the wall and not getting anywhere. Right? They need to fall back, a lot of them.
And I was one of them, John. I was one of them. I remember when I first saw JP on CT's panel. I'm like, who is this welfare wanker? But guess what, John? Over time, I start to understand JP, and I grew to respect him. I can't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
JP is a whole different category. Period.
And some of these other niggas with a head full of goddamn education, you think even less than them now, correct? After you've heard them speak with their head full of fucking education, you think less of them now, correct?
Yeah. I think that education don't mean you intelligent. I think they focus more on the titles and the label of education than more of intelligence. I think I come from a intelligent perspective than educated, right? Educated is bi-directional, and it's basically the education. Who gave them the education controlled their thinking and controlled. They don't believe nothing outside of that bubble that's in their minds that they was taught, and that's all they know, and that's all they want to know because that's what they got their degrees in. And from when I come from an intelligent way, I open my mind to the world to get educated from, and so I was able to debunk a lot of that stuff where the educated people that has been indoctrinated to just use their simple critical thinking. And a lot of times when I have conversations and debates with a lot of the educated people, I kill them every time because one, all I got to do is say, how do you know this? And they argue at the fact that they don't want to, since they don't really have facts of everything that they spew or they never lived or experienced. So they just say, are you arguing with education? I say, no, I'm arguing. Education is subjective and it's relative. You going off what somebody have told you. So you just regurgitating stories and what that's called is a rumor. So we all know I can tell a rumor today, especially they be referencing rumors from 400,000 or 500,000 years ago or 1,000 years ago, 400 or 500 years ago. At that point, you're not getting the accurate information. So a lot of times they don't use their education that they got received was they basically got their thinking controlled. So that's all they know, and that's all they gonna ever know. They're gonna die that way. And they was taught to look at people like myself, just because I don't have a high school diploma, they think that means that equates with stupid. And when we having conversations, I'm wiping them out the chart.
Yeah. You know, JP, man, I've been coming that over and over for guys of you that have been listening to me for the last couple months. I'm like, yo, the niggas, all these educated niggas can't seem to hold a counter to this nigga. They can't seem to hold a counter. And so he comes up on these panels where supposedly all these fucking educated ass blacks, and here they can't hold it accountable to a fucking nigga that, by their account, should be below them.
John, you know why, John?
Hmm?
You know why? Because the ego. It always comes back to ego. They can't understand that JP chin-checked them with his life experiences, and he has no shame in his game. And I respect JP for that. He has no shame in his game. And these, I got a degree. I got a master's. PhD, it means nothing. Your certificate means nothing.
But you know what, Venter? And that's why they have an issue with me, because they have a lot of these smarty-arty people. They have associated their masculinity, their confidence, and their smartness to these degrees. Basically, I call it the white man's dick print. The white man done validated their education, and so that don't mean their education is accurate. It just mean that they was obedient and obey what the white man was given to them.
I agree.
So by default, that made them to be conform like what we would call a butler. So that's all they ever gonna be. I was told that education is powerful, but yet these people are with the Black Institute, HBCUs, and other universities, and they do not have the power that other groups like white people have. They still is working up under people. So if that education was power and y'all went to Black universities, why you not independent of a white man? You still dependent of the white man, and the white man still control your vision. So that education didn't do nothing for you.
Yeah,
that's a fact. And JP, as someone with a degree, when I came out of college, guess what? I just realized, all that goddamn university years, I wasted 3 years of my life. It was garbage, trash, waste of time.
JP, man,
I learned humanity outside of college. JP, just saying.
JP, you'd be surprised. I call it a jobs program. A jobs program.
Mm-hmm.
If you look around, like most niggas probably don't need no more than an 8th grade education. Learn how to read, count and shit. Everything else is fucking common sense. You can learn on your own. But yet you got a bunch of women, many of them Black, that populate all these jobs, all the way up through college, professors, people like that, getting paid. You go to college, you may not be aware of this, JP. Let's say you want to major in computer science, you want to write software code.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna force you to pay for a whole bunch of bullshit programs that keep the professor paid, just so you can get your computer science degree and learn how to write code.
Oh, John, you're hitting. All right, John, that's perfect.
That's in every fucking degree. It's a job meal that you're feeding the beast. And so a lot of these Blacks, again, man, I was a software developer. I taught myself. A lot of these people are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to go learn from people who could not get a job doing what they're teaching. Trust me.
Wow.
They're broke. Trust me.
John Gold, if I had a time machine, I would go back and never go back to university. I would teach it myself.
It's all a scam. And it is part of the that is part of the biggest pushback and the anger in the Blacks. I've been a landlord all my life. The Blacks who had the hardest time paying rent are the smarty niggas. Go figure that. Shit. How that make sense? Huh? Make sense.
I think it's personally it is a scam too. You absolutely right. And here's another thing I want to ask y'all. Do you think white America will educate Black people to be as powerful or more powerful than them?
No, they want to educate you to be docile and weak and
Exactly. So they basically going to teach you to be their whore.
Right. Correct.
Levels of whores. You got the whores that work at McDonald's. And you got the whores that work at corporate. But at the end of the day, y'all still are whores. It's like what I be telling niggas, like, my chain might be rusty. Your chain might be silver. His chain might be gold. That chain might be diamond. The other chain might be platinum. What niggas don't realize, we all still got chains on our necks.
You're not lying, JP. You're not lying.
Chain is shining. We got chains on our necks.
You're not lying, JP.
Hey, JP, let me ask you a question, JP. I got a question to ask you, but I'm going to play a clip for you before I ask you the question. Well, I'm going to ask you a question, then I'll play a clip. How about that? You run a food truck, correct?
Yep.
And so Did you go to school to learn how to run a food truck?
Nope.
And so here's it. I'm going to play 2 clips for you, and then I want you to respond to them. And again, I'm trying to punch through by using you. A lot of times people don't want to take what I say. And so you coming from a different perspective. Here's the first video I want you to listen to. Let me share my screen. And again, I think it really highlights how a lot of these blacks are looking at the world here. Here's the first video.
You talk about investing, but doesn't investing, where does it start? What's the catalyst of 2053 being a thing, man? Can we change it or is it over? Mr. Fantastic. I read up on it.
So he asked Mr. Big Hat, Mr. Fantastic. He said, can we change it? Or is it over? And I want you to listen to what Mr. Big Hat said before you respond here. That was Mr. Big Hat. He asked Mr. Big Hat, is it over, Mr. Big Hat, for us? We black, Mr. Big Hat. It's over. Is it over, Mr. Big Hat? And Mr. Big Hat responds like this. JP, and I want you
we need training. Black people need to be trained and taught about economics.
Who does Mr. Big Hat want to train these niggas? Who taught you that, JP?
He want whites to train him. The same losing. That's like the losing cycle. So what he not realizing, what the question that was asking him, this is why they don't use their critical thinking. If they saying that by 2053, black people economy gonna fail, and then his answer was he need more training, basically from white folks. Well, it was white people that gave you that same training to get to your economy even to this day. So why would you go to the same people that's making you lose? They the one that's the causing you losing in the first place. So they option not to become independent of them. This is what I'm saying. Black folks are so afraid of not depending on whites. I admit it. We have been so conditioned to depend on whites to the point where it's terrifying to be independent of white leadership and white vision and white direction and white American dream. And so we don't have that type of mindset to go out there and to try to create something outside of whiteness, create our own dollar, create our own infrastructure. And what's so crazy, we helped build this infrastructure, but we don't know how to build it for ourselves. We more comfortable of building it for another nigga. We go to work and build, constantly maintaining somebody else's infrastructure. We done picked on the kind. We done built this whole America. Why can't we pick a land or whatever case, buy it from people that's struggling on other countries, these third world countries, woo out the bam, and build it for ourselves? But they would tell me, well, Jay Chris, you go to do it. Like I'm a one-man army. So a lot of times they don't really make sense, but they are educated. This is what I mean. Yeah, they are educated, but they are I call it indoctrinated. They received all that white dick, education. It didn't do nothing for them. White men will never educate you to be more powerful than what you already are. And that's nothing. Powerless.
Well, how did you learn the basic economics of running your food truck?
Common sense. And to know about 1 + 1 = 2. Know how to count money. I didn't have to, and then I know food sells itself. And the type of food how I learned how to make money, especially when you talk about like black people food, soul food, it comes with stories. It's a story. And it's when you dealing with like soul food, that has a story to it. And it's passed down. So when you making it, even though I can give somebody the ingredients, they still not gonna make it taste the way that I know how to make it taste, because I was raised up in the family or the taste that I know how to get into the taste that I'm actually looking for. And one, you gotta have heart. You gotta have your heart in it when you're making any meal. And most of this food comes with a story behind it. A lot of people don't really understand that it's a magic to that.
JP.
And another thing, I study other food trucks. Like, I think it would be difficult for me to go pull up in a black neighborhood with a food truck.
What's up, guys?
I'd rather have a place to run my business.
Did you ever think about going to school to learn how to run a food truck? Did you go to school?
No, I never thought about going to school to learn.
JP, I study food, and I know I have a health and safety.
I would have put a white face in there, though.
I can work as a health and safety instructor, JP. If I pulled up to your food truck, I expect 100% clean environment. Can you promise that, JP?
Yeah, great A.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Now, here's the thing.
JP, what about running the business, though, JP? Because there's, of course, the food truck, but then it's also a business in and of itself.
Business. So this is what I was going to do. My plan on hiring white people to run the business, right? Even having them on the truck. A lot of people say, you a pro-black. Why would you do that?
Smart.
They do the same thing to us.
Customer service.
They do the same thing to black people. When they understand that black people, like when you're dealing with clothes, black people spend the most money, right?
JP.
Go ahead.
No. See, don't focus on race, man. Hire the person who knows health and safety. Hire someone who has standards, man.
And also an accountant.
That face, the color of the skin matter even amongst black people.
No,
because
it shouldn't.
I agree with you, JP.
JP, we understand. JP, we understand what you're talking about. Trust, we do. The
okay,
fact
what is
is,
I'm saying? What is I'm really saying?
You still need to find someone who's going to help you with operations,
Yeah.
and you still need an accountant.
You
Right,
said
an
far as like
accountant.
the accounting and stuff
Marketing,
like that.
accounting. You can find an accountant who works well with small business, because more than likely you're either going to be sole proprietor or a corporation, like an LLC. You and your daughters, and you can, and then
Right.
because you want limited liability. If anything happens, you get sued. You don't want them to go after you personally. So you do want that LLC. So like someone just said in the chat, you do want a few business courses. Also, JP, for your daughter, your 12-year-old, because more than likely she's going to pick up this business. When she goes to college, she needs to get a business degree. I'm telling you right now, the day she turns 16, your daughter, enroll her in community college, and her focus is just business. She can do business, math, business, English, whatever. That's great.
Yeah.
But remember, since you and your daughters have a family business, you want your little girl to have those business courses, community college, and more than likely they're going to be free for her.
Hey,
So that's
JP,
what you want to be.
That's
Learn
why
operations,
Hey,
learn
JP.
operations, get a good accountant.
JP, that's why I tend to disagree with
You muted.
JP, that's why I tend to disagree with a lot of people up here on the panel. You're going to be able to hire your accountants in any business. If you get up to any stage, you can learn the rudimentary accounting. I think it's most important to learn the business. If you're in the food truck business, you need to know where to source food at the best prices, and so on and so forth. Where to locate your food truck. I think the blacks had a head full of knowledge on once they're in business, but they never get in business. They just gonna talk about once I'm in business, this is what I need to do, but they never open up business. And the alternative approach is what you're doing. Just jump feet first and figure it out. That's what you had to do.
Trial and error.
Right?
Trial and error.
Right, like niggas ain't had to go to school to sell drugs. They figured that shit the fuck out.
Right.
Wow, different, huh? Right, and I think that blacks are complicating things. Simple shit. Nigga been selling food all their life. Ain't nobody went to college. My mama sold, right? My mama sold fucking plates. Now they gotta fucking go to college and get a culinary arts degree.
Yup.
Right.
John. The
Bro,
same
you
thing with a fucking
complicated.
mechanic.
Right? You come well, maybe mechanics now you know cars are getting complicated. But food ain't nothing much more complicated about food today.
Everybody eat every day.
Years ago. If you
And
can
goals,
it, huh?
so business is just understanding human behavior. That's business.
Right.
Understand human behavior.
And you know,
And you win.
you know, JP, I know, man, you probably got to get out of here. A couple things I did want to cover with you before you go. One thing you see when you joined, you said you never really watched much of the channel, but you saw a lot of, you know, the content you saw here is, you know, my own content here. Not a lot of react videos like Nightish. What made you look to that?
Well, the videos that you were seeing was showing me. You talking about the one I was talking about with yours?
Yeah, you said, well, I never really checked your channel before, John, but when I checked your channel, I saw you had a lot of, you know, your own content.
Your own content, meaning that you went out there outside and created your own.
So why what does that mean to you?
It means that you've been organically you. It means that you provided your own content. You are that's what you call a content creator, not a content reactor. You got enough, and also you got enough wit and personality and charisma to go out there and get and talk with people and create your own magic. Right? It can't be duplicated when it's your own creation. I don't think a lot of these content creators is content creators. They just some niggas out the alley that came on here, seen people was getting money, and somebody told them how to start a channel, and they trying to steal ideas from other people, like with the bounty system and all this other type of stuff, and reacting them, and they found the method of, as long as you keep them upset, get certain people up here, put some people together, the bounty system, you gonna run on and get your money. That's all they doing is reacting to other people's creation.
Can I put this can I put this in dope man parlance for the audience? If you don't mind. Basically, you're saying that more or less a lot of times these guys coming off the street. You ever seen niggas hustling off the street? They go buy a pack and break it down, right? And they keep constantly doing the same shit, buying packs, breaking it down. And in your sense, like you got the pack. Like you're out on the street with your own shit. And I think, you know, I think I was going a little bit somewhere different, but I'm high, I'm drunk. But, you know, I think when you see people who, you know, are more or less repackaging other people's pack, it's offensive to you. Would you say that's fair?
Yeah, it's stepped on. A lot of baking soda.
Basically selling Gucci and calling it Gucci.
Right. They're taking your shit and then reselling it as their own and making money off your shit. And I think that's one of the reasons why some of the people saying you should get monetized for or you should be paid for going up on these people. You know, I've been watching
You should, bro.
You see that? Everybody saying that, bro. You need to figure that out. And so one of the things, you know, I listen to T here for the T, and I just want to let you know in case you didn't hear this. The blacks, in my opinion, bro, are very protective of you, very dependent on you for views, for revenue.
You like to get Obama.
For chat engagement. You understand all these YouTube analytic terms here. And, you know, you got to figure out a way, bro, to do that. And so my question to you is, what are your plans to grow your channel?
Well, I do got some new plans that I want to do. Yeah. I think once my food, because I want to achieve that food truck first, because I've shared it to the world already, and I've been going through the process. And there's a lot of young people, especially young niggas, that been watching me the whole time, and so I got to complete that for them. That's one. Secondly, that food truck gonna help me to invest on what I really want to take because I no longer want to do like panels where you come up here and talk a bunch of nothing that a lot of people not experienced. I want to bring in real and the ideas that I got. I think that once it finally hit the scene, all it needs to get advertised more, which I'm gonna hire like marketing and stuff like that. People that coming on platforms and talk about anybody come in and talk about stories that they ain't never even lived. So when I'm gonna be coming in with more real type of stuff, and it's gonna be set up a certain way to the point where they're gonna either have to do that or go home. Because a lot of people not gonna be interested in just repeating the same conversations without real stuff behind it. This type of stuff I'm gonna introduce is gonna change the game.
Right.
Why did you turn down the
I'm sorry.
why you say you turned down some deals to work with Anton and maybe you work with Anton? What was your reason? I'm just curious. What was your reasoning behind it? You don't have to answer if you don't feel comfortable.
Yeah. So my reason is I didn't sell my integrity. I wasn't willing to sell my manhood. I wasn't really that desperate to be in Hollywood. Anton was trying to convince me to stop working with the guy who we work with now because they had beef. And he told me that he promised he hit me with, we're going to put you on it. Because me and Anton had a show and it was doing real good. It was big. It started off big. Out the gate, it was a hit. And he said that I'm going to give you opportunity to go on a bigger channel who he was connected with. And the money going to go up. But only one thing, you can't work with one of that content creator, Fatty. And I said, what? I said, whoa. So I said, brother, so Fatty was telling me that just work, you can just make me just say work with it in the back, make him slide in the back. I said, no. That's Anton's way of slapping me on the ass and telling me to like woo out the band, control me. And to like woo out the band, right? So I said, well, Anton, I don't got no beef with you, Anton, or him. And Fatty was working with me on my channel to help me grow my channel and show me how to do StreamYard and woo out the band. And so I turned the deal down. And during that time, I needed money for rent, just like now. I needed money for rent. And so Anton grew a resentment towards me based off that fact because he used to using his money to control people. And War Jones Jr. saw that because I made a Death Before Dishonor video because people were trying to guilt me for not taking that deal and kiss Anton's tail because they will do it. I said, no, I'm not the type of guy going to sell myself to get somewhere. I'm not that thirsty. I mean, I wouldn't mind being popular on YouTube, but I'm not going to sell my soul. I don't want to get into nothing where I got to get bought. My integrity, I refuse to be compromised. And so I took the deal down. And a lot of people, they making fun of me because my shows could have been big. And now they working together. I guess Fatty growing with him, but he got to suck some meat to do that. And I'm still okay with the decision that I made. I'm still okay with myself. War Jones Jr. came up there with his camp, and then I ended up talking to War Jones. They appreciated me for making that decision. He said, they was like, man, there's so many people in Hollywood wouldn't have did what you did, especially been in the position of finna be homeless with your kids and everything, and somebody offer you an opportunity. Right. A big money opportunity and with clout, with bigger views on your channel. You turned it down because you stood on for what you believed in.
Wow.
And you think
tell people why I'm at the bottom now.
Yo, let me ask you this. Do you think it was some gay shit involved? Or is that what they were trying to
I personally, I don't want to put that assumption on, but the way them dudes used to talk, my thing is, John God, I can't talk about this black shit and be just like the black leaders that we had. That can be the reason why I'm at the bottom right now, realistically, is because of that situation, right? And I don't want to be the next black leader that can be bought with some dollars.
Right.
If I'm going to stand on something, I'm going to stand on it. I don't want to me, you no longer a leader if you can be bought. Like how we had Al Sharpton, all these Jesse. No, I don't want to be bought.
So let me ask you, what was going to be kind of your role, or the type of content you're going to be creating?
The type of content I'm going to be creating, I think is.
No, I'm talking about with Anton. What would have been?
Me and Anton had like a back and forth thing where it was just me and him.
Okay.
And we was reacting to stuff, or we'd talk about some stuff. And a lot of people thought it was hilarious.
What kind of stuff, JP? What kind of stuff exactly?
So it'll be like different type of videos, and a lot of people felt like me and Anton personalities was clicking together, and they thought, a lot of people was telling me they compared me to Richard Pryor. They said, "Dude, you just authentically funny, you without even trying to be."
You're actually funny, JP. You're a funny guy. No joke. You are definitely funny.
Hey JP, have you ever heard of the Cloward pivot strategy?
You said what now? Hey, y'all be quiet.
You ever heard of the Cloward pivot strategy?
Nope.
Does anyone know what Cloward pivot strategy is? I think it's
no, sir. No, Gold. I'm not familiar. Tell us.
I'm going to share with you guys.
First time I heard of that. Never heard of
Let's see.
Read a book.
God damn it. Read a book.
Cloward.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm pulling up. Go ahead.
No. If you find it, tell us, John.
Here it is, right here. So basically, the Cloward pivot strategy, which is interesting since we have you up here, was a political strategy by Jewish people. Damn, I don't have it on.
It always goes back to the J's.
It was a political strategy by Jewish. Well, I shouldn't have said Jewish. I'm not sure.
J, just say J.
Well, I'm not sure if that's what they were, so I should retract that. The strategy aimed to utilize militant anti-poverty groups to facilitate. That's black people, by the way. To facilitate a political crisis by overloading the welfare system via an increase in welfare claims, forcing the creation of system of guaranteed minimum income. You never heard of that, JP?
No, I haven't.
It was called a Cloward pivot strategy. And basically, they wanted to mobilize poor people, primarily black people, all over the country to get welfare, to claim welfare benefits. Something that Martin Luther King never, ever advocated for. But this group in blacks, for whatever reason, resisted that. And you are kind of the embodiment of a one-man Cloward pivot strategy. And then you tell people you giving people a very good reason to like accept.
I'm talking to my kids. Go ahead.
You giving people, depending on how you look at it and the way you described it, is using welfare as a step up, if not for yourself, but for your children, by going in and getting a food truck and so on and so forth, teaching them the business, making sure you have custody of your children to teach them the best you see fit. You're kind of like in some ways, you're preaching the Cloward pivot, by living your life, not being embarrassed about welfare. But you're also countering it by teaching your children skills that wouldn't necessarily lead them to being on welfare. if that's
right. Exactly.
So you contradict you contradict yourself in ways. Your words say one thing, but I think that your desire for the best for your children make you behave in ways counter to that makes sense.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So although it might seem like a contradiction, all other races of power of their own does this. Mexicans, they use a lot of government assistance. Whites use a lot of government assistance. Every race that comes over here use a lot of government assistance for their benefit to gain what they need, right? And typically, like the Mexicans, they got food trucks all over our city. Now, food trucks, now they own all the property in the black ghettos, right? So now they got the woman at home with the food stamps. Then they got the other people at home with the food trucks. Then they got the other people, with owning the properties and stuff like that, and fixing them up, building them up. I think this is what black people should have been doing. But black people, I think they are the least people to make fun of people on government assistance. Right. We not collectively powerful, financially powered. So why we couldn't, we so big trying to make fun of that instead of, the problem is we're not unified mentally, and we don't have no vision. Our vision is individuality. To go out, I'm living my life. Them niggas on their own. If they can't go, meaning when a white man put on his coat, they put on their shoes. Right? So they don't have no direction. They not trying to get nowhere. There's no ultimate goal for real. They go is to make, because when you ask them, what is your end goal? How much money do you need to be straight? Just keep making money. No, it got to be something outside of life than that. Right. Facts. So they have been tricked out of the Black American fight. The white man gave them the vision to make money. That's all they focus on. They're not focused on the liberation. They no longer focus on the unity. They're not focused on building more black people by creating them, reproducing them. They're not focused on that. In my mind, in my soul, in my heart, is more focused on that. And one thing that you have to be, that I see what failed from a lot of black leaders, is that they allow money to get inside their soul, and they was easily to be bought. Right. And I don't want to be the next black man on the rise and getting people to watch me do the same thing that our old leaders did. I want to show my black man that I'm very loyal to the cause. And if it don't make sense, I'm not going to compromise my fight or my stance for nobody. I don't care. But it came with a consequence that I was okay. One thing about being poor, you can't make me be more poor. So although I ain't never been rich, so me missing out being wealthy and rich, it ain't no harm to me. I'd rather get it out the mud with my niggas and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, the vision wasn't for me to just make money. The vision for me to have a voice, establish a voice and speak for the voice of the niggas in the community, that the world want us to keep quiet. Post before me, everybody came on the internet. They was talking all this. I'm educated. I'm rich. I'm wealthy. Taking pictures by rental cars, and they had And when I came up here and made it scream and made it loud that I'm a pookie, I'm out the ghetto. My lights got cut off.
I can't believe it, John Gold. I can't believe it. I agree with JP.
My God. Well, why you agree with JP?
He said a lot of things regarding he said the Mexicans running their food trucks in the community. He's right. Why aren't there more black food truck business owners in the community?
Well, JP explained that as well. Like, a lot of blacks have grasped on education to the extreme.
I know.
I played a clip earlier where a black woman saying, "We the most educated in the world." Okay, how's that working out for you?
Mm-hmm.
And they're not.
John, respectfully. John.
Ponder, we're gonna fight Ponder. You wanna fight Ponder?
But if you're the most educated people in the world, in the country, and you're talking about black women, that's who the lady was talking about, and your income is at the bottom, clearly the education didn't matter a hill of beans.
Yes.
Unless you would have been making even less with education, without education.
Mr. Gold, Mr. Gold, no disrespect, JP is 100% right. I think, and by the way, this happens in the UK. I'm in the UK, same thing. Like just because you have a degree or you're intellectual, does not mean you should look down on someone that owns a food truck, because guess what? It starts local. You have to start from local. You have to start from local, and then you build up. So someone like J Prince with the food truck, that could be beneficial for the black community. Start fresh, build up a little, food truck business, and then you, John Gold. You know how McDonald's started, Mr. Gold? McDonald's.
Yeah, I watched the movie. What was it?
I forgot the one. Is the actor? What's it called? Michael Keaton or whatever his name is.
Yeah. Michael Keaton, Batman.
Yeah, he was in that movie, and he started from bottom, going from state to state, trying to sell his franchise, trying to get investors in. You need investors into your company. Why can't black people invest in JP as investors?
Well, that's interesting that you mentioned that. Again, one of the things I mentioned when I went up on Bob's channel, I said, why didn't y'all guys just like put your heads together with CT? Just a thought. There could be reasons that I don't know behind the scenes, but it would have made sense. Why clear the forest again in terms of monetization?
John Gold, I'll tell you why. John Gold, sorry to break. I'll tell you why. Ego, simple.
Okay, well, fair enough. That is the case. That very well could be the case, but again, that is I think some of these blacks have a problem with. JP, here's an educated black man. Listen to this.
I am a better reflection. I am a better reflection of white culture.
You old fool! I just kicked your ass.
I'm a better. Okay, this little gnome wants to be cut it. Hey, I am a better reflection. I am a better reflection of white culture.
When you hear a black man say he's a better reflection of white culture, what does it make you think, JP? The educated.
He's a butler. And see, when I keep saying butler, it's like you not even second, you are third. You don't even compete with no man. Your job is like you're not even in the fight. Your job is to make sure all of the competitors is comfortable, right? You know how you know how you got somebody that come in like the bus boy and stuff like that. When he say stuff like that, he's not even in the fight of competition with no other races of men. His job is to make sure all of the competitors, white, Puerto Rican, Mexican, Indian, Asians, get their waters cold, keep their waters cold, they towel moist, they food warm, and stuff like that. He's not even in the fight of competition as a black man. That's what I mean by butler.
Now, I totally agree with you. I don't think any black man desiring to be white or thinks that he's whiter than a white man. I don't care if that white man is at the absolute bottom. You can't be whiter than him. Just like there's no white man that can be blacker than me, man. I tell people all the time, man.
Mr. Gold, I have a question for you, Mr. Gold. Why does it have to be white company? Why does white this, white that? Why can't men just have standards? Why does it have to be color? Have standards, man. Standards have no color, Mr. Gold. Am I wrong for saying that?
Dante, that's not incorrect, but you have to remember the history of the United States.
I know,
there are a lot of men who associate success, not just success monetarily, but also within their self-worth. Like they're like from an existential place. Like I want to exist. I want people to see me and respect me as if I'm a white man.
Well, I think
obtain that. But that's outdated, Ponder. That's outdated.
I think the better answer lies in what Mr. Fantastic said. Mr. Big Hat. Somebody needs to teach us. Short of us someone teaching us, we learn on our own. Short of us learning on our own, we have to adopt someone else's teachings. And
I disagree, Gold. I disagree.
What I'm saying is, if you're not willing to teach yourself basic economics, can't figure it out, then you depended on someone else teaching you that, correct?
True. Yes.
And that is what Mr. Fantastic said.
Yeah,
we
that's
can't
kind of
figure out economics.
So we need. Does it have to be color? That's my question.
It has to be color because he's saying we blacks can't figure it out. So who's going to teach us? Then, he can't go to the China man. He can only speak their own language. So you got to go to the white man, right? Doesn't that make sense?
Yeah, but it goes back to what you said, man, about the first generation has to build the foundation, bro. It goes back to that, man, and Lord have mercy, bro.
And so this is
so simple. Like, look at JP. Like, he's building, believe it or not, with his food truck, he could go from one food truck to 3, from 3 to 6.
Exactly.
And that is building the
He may not
foundation
do
for his
it. He
kids
may
to
not
build the
do it.
second floor, bro.
He may not go beyond the one.
Latino. My argument is JP.
But he hold on. But he may not go beyond the one. But he's showing his daughters how to.
Yeah.
Right. That he's.
I can't understand how these niggas. I cannot understand for the life of me how they be so proud. How they be so proud of another man's success when they be bragging on talking about they work in a Fortune 500 company or they work for $1 trillion company. Nigga, and it's laughable because you only getting peanuts of that tree. You ain't even getting $1 million out of that company. Yeah,
JP,
that company
lying,
makes millions of dollars, but your ass making $20 an hour. I cannot for the life of me understand why you so proud of another man's company. Why you don't see that type of work within yourself to do good? Come up, create something like
Well, JP, I think that if I may, Latina, for just 2 seconds, the best way to see these companies, JP, and for everyone on the panel, it's like a glorified internship. You go after all of these jobs with the mindset to learn as much and then to bolt, because anything can happen at any time, especially being Black.
You stole the words right out of my mouth. That's what I said. These jobs.
Hold on. But in reality, these people are as dependent on these jobs as a baby is to their mother's tip.
Yeah, I agree.
And that is what JP is saying. Nigga, you so tied to their job, so dependent on that motherfucker. I had a nigga going to work with broke ribs. JP, you hear me? A 60-year-old nigga, goddamn riding a fucking stand-up scooter, going to work with broke ribs in a warehouse.
Man, you had John, come on, man.
At 60 years old.
John, you had a lawyer begging his family for money, bro. A lawyer. Do you understand that the amount of time that it takes to go to school? It's like 8 years or more, bro.
JP, that nigga had $5, bro. That nigga had $5. That nigga had $5, bro. JP, you got
that was a degree.
JP, you got $5, bro. Oh, God damn, I'm going to ask you. Okay. All right, here's what we're going to do right here. Here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do right here. Here we go. And we're going to do this. Now, this is a motherfucking lawyer, JP. A motherfucking lawyer. He was a tenant of mine. You get that, right? So you got it? You got everything? Tenant?
A degree.
How much education you got, JP?
9th grade.
I ain't gonna lie, that shit's been stressful as fuck. I ain't gotta tell you that.
Yeah, how much you have on you right now?
JP.
Yeah, I got $6 on me right now.
That's one more than you had last week.
Yeah.
$6.
Yeah.
This is a great example, bro. Like, before you guys get in, this is a great example of like when Trump basically doged the shit out of the government. And you had all these people with degrees, and none of them knew what the hell to do.
I ain't gotta tell you that.
Yeah, but how much money do you have on you right now?
Yeah, I got $6 on me right now.
That's one more than you had last week.
Yeah.
$6.
Yeah.
That's a lawyer, JP. What's your thought?
That is they working like you say, they're working against themselves. Like, that's shameful. And my thing is, you know, they okay with that as long as they got the title. I think was the real underlying message that you see from these black butlers is that they more care, they overcompensated. Mm-hmm. And so instead of facing the reality of where their position in life, and that's you are on your knees.